afternoon, folks. Big Bo with RVs with Big Bo at Parkway RV Center. And, well, as you might have guessed from the title of the video, I've got a nice little motorhome we're going to review today. A very popular little motorhome, and that is a class, well, the manufacturer actually officially calls this a Class B+. Well, actually one of the few that I've seen that do that. I still call them a Class C. You can call it whatever you want. But this is a 2015 Thor Citation 24SA, and this is a little mini Class B+, Class C. 24.5 feet long, a little diesel powered, great on fuel. Just turned 30,000 miles, Mercedes-Benz diesel, all the latest technology. Well, at least latest technology you could get in a 2015 model, that is. And a really nice one, guys. 24.5 feet long with a slide. It does have a nice power awning. I've got deployed right now. Got the LED light bar. Got the generator running. Got a 3.6 LP generator by Onan with 130 or 40 hours on it. Hardly any hours at all. And got some of the outside bays open. Actually, for a small motorhome, it's actually got surprisingly large amount of storage space. Now, guys, it is a used 2015, so you've got a couple of little scratches on it. Most noticeable one so far that I've seen is this one right here. And I'm just showing you that so there is no surprises when you get here. Got the slam style latches, got some outside plug-ins. Tires still got the tabs on them, they look great. Onan Cummins propane 3.6, which is the standard generator size for a diesel motorhome. Now they do offer these with a small diesel generator, but it's a very, very, very expensive motorhome, and for as much as, or a very expensive upgrade when you buy them new. And most dealers don't order them in stock like that. They order them with the 3.6. Because these little small motorhomes, most people don't run the generator much anyway. So, I mean, it's several $1,000s extra to get the diesel generator. So for most people, it's simply not worth it. And be honest with you, you know, there's pros and cons. Yes, I know it's harder to get propane than it is to get diesel. But what I like about a propane generator is you can let that generator set. I mean, you can let that generator set for 10 years with the fuel that's in it. And that generator will fire right up and run like it was just cranked the day before. They don't gum up. They don't have carburetors that gum up. Propane's very clean burning fuel. It's not like a diesel or a gasoline powered generator. That thing can set. That's why so many home standby generators are natural gas or propane, simply because they can set for years at a time between cranking them up, and they run absolutely fine. So that's the one benefit to propane generator, and I think they're a little bit quiet. They're a lot quieter than a diesel generator is in one of these too. So got outside storage bay right there. That little panel right there is plumbing access. Hopefully you never have to get in there, but in case you ever did for a plumbing leak, it's easy access to some of your shower or bath or some of your plumbing. Couple little cracks in the stripe, but again, guys, I'm not saying this thing's brand new. I mean, brand new, these things are you know, they're $150,000, $170,000, and then a waiting period to get them. Got the TPO roof system. Does have a 5,000 pound tow capacity. The motor is a 3-liter Mercedes-Benz V6 diesel, turbo diesel motor, 188 horsepower, 325 pound-feet of torque, which doesn't really sound like that much, but will greatly surprise you going down the road. This little dude will fly, and we'll drive it later in the video. I may have to drive it and hold the camera myself because it is Saturday. I don't really have anybody freed up to do a test drive, but this is one of the few motorhomes that I can drive one-handed and film with the other and still do it comfortably. Got your wet bay right here in the back corner for your sewer and water hookups. Stinky, slinky storage if you want to put it right there. This is just storage bay right there. 30 amp electrical service, 6 gallon DSI water heater. Got the frameless windows. You do have the slide topper. That water dripping off of it is condensation from the AC. Let me close this right here. There we go. A little awkward sometimes to close that when the slide out's out. You know, very aerodynamic. You know, most people, and again, guys, when I talk about fuel mileage in an RV, there is no official test for fuel mileage, so you've got to take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm going by information from reviews online and from different forums, and basically these are just people's opinions that own them or claim that they own them. There's even no way to verify that. Most people are claiming 65 miles an hour, they're getting 16, 17, 18 miles per gallon. And I know that's going to vary a lot depending on the wind, if you're on flat land, going uphill, downhill, if you're towing something, etc. And most people don't disclose all the variables where they come up with that fuel mileage from. So I'm going to say 15 miles per gallon, and that's probably on the low side. But I don't want to give you wrong information, but do your own research of that, draw your own opinion. And of course, it's also going to be dependent on your individual driving style, because some people have a lead foot, some people don't. Some people drive faster than others. I think all RVs are designed to be driven or towed around 65 miles an hour or 70 miles an hour tops. You know, I think if you drive one or tow one faster than that, you risk flexing it, bending it, breaking seals, potentially damaging your RV. But I know most people do drive them faster than that. So, you know, but then again, it's their RV, it's their money, it's their chances, you know, it's their money to risk. So anyway, I'm gonna pause the video for a minute. I'm gonna pop the drone back up. Let's do a roof shot, show you the TPO roof system. Roof looks excellent for a 2015 model, but hang tight, I'll be right back before we go inside. And you can see, guys, that roof looks great. It's clean. It doesn't look cracked or anything like that. Of course, you know, this being a Mercedes-Benz, it does have the dually rear end. It does have the four-wheel ABS. It does have the anti-roll technology, the multiple airbags in the front cab. I think this thing's got 8 airbags just in the driver's and passenger seat area alone. It's got a lot of technology on it. You know, pretty much top of the line for 15. And probably the only motorhome you could get a lot of those technological features on. And I apologize about the generator hours, guys. 165.5 hours, which is nothing. It's about like 30,000 miles, guys. The Mercedes-Benz designed the Sprinter chassis and motor to provide, on average, a 500,000 mile service life. A practical service life. And I'm sure you're going to have repairs and maintenance and all that stuff along the way to that 500,000 miles before it becomes impractical. And that's just average. I mean, you may get more, you may get less, but 30,000 miles, you're not going to wear this machine out any shape, form, or fashion anywhere close to any time soon. But the main thing you want to look at on a Mercedes-Benz buying one used is make sure there's no check engine lights. And there's not. 30,318 miles. We just drove a 600 miles here. Backup camera works great. The dash air is ice cold. Both seats do swivel for party seating. Excuse me for a second, guys. Let me grab me a sip of water. Between this front air and this rear air, it's giving me the coughs. Hang on one second. Sorry about that, guys. I had to turn the airs down a little bit. It was blowing so much air in me, it was making me cough, drying my throat out. Anyway, what I was getting at, the airs are ice cold, obviously. Dash air looks great. Dash air works great. Backup camera works great. Dash, windshield, all that stuff is in excellent condition. Front seats do swivel. Does have the 5-speed Mercedes-Benz Shiftronic transmission. So this is definitely, for the size, the most fuel efficient motorhome you can get. And it's going to get the same fuel mileage as most of your Class B vans with double the space, interior space. And whether you call it a Class B plus or a Class C, it doesn't matter. It's still a 24.5 foot motorhome that gets 15 to 18 miles a gallon, let's say, depending on your driving ability. You do have a cab over bed, and this is a small bed, like a excuse me, darn. You do have a ladder. I like the fact that this folds up and down, so it makes it get in and out of the cab easier. And one thing I do love about a Mercedes-Benz is incredible leg room when you're driving, which you'll see that when we test drive it. And the fact you can twist in and out of the driver's seat to go to the back, and you don't have that hump in the floor like you do with a Ford or a GM or something like that. Anyway, nice opening area in here. There's no smoke or pet odors. TVs, which do work, I just didn't put them on. I'm sorry about that. I'm just being lazy, I guess. You got a little pop-up skylight if you want to use it for ventilation or just to let natural light in here. You do have a full-size bed in the back corner already made up. Drawers are kind of opening up a little bit because I'm on a slant where I got it parked. And I mean, they'll stay shut for a little while, but they'll open back up here shortly. Single basin sink, solid surface countertops, double burner stovetop, good solid wood cabinets, you can see, good amount of storage. No flaking furniture, we've already had that recovered. The only thing we had to have recovered was a dinette cushion, so all that's done. Books, manuals, everything's included with it. Nice height clearance. And you can see the solid wood fascia around the slide out. Pretty good little bit of storage right here. Cabinets look good. You know, everything in here is pretty original except for the upholstery, the dinette cushion upholstery. Refrigerator's clean, doesn't look like it's been used much. You can see the racks aren't scratched up or anything like that. This is a 6 cubic foot RV refrigerator freezer that will run off propane or electric. It does have LED lights, so if you're boondock camping, it will not run your battery down as fast, or they won't, and they don't throw out much heat. And another benefit of the LEDs is you don't have to change them out all the time. Another television right here as well for when you're laying in bed. And this is the full-size bed, not a queen bed, so please keep that in mind. So it's going to sleep 2 adults tightly. You've got your table booth that makes a bed and your cab over bed. I'm going to call this a 5 to 6 sleeper. Closet right here for hanging up stuff, keep it wrinkle free. Rear corner bathroom. Now keep in mind, guys, these are a little bit more narrower than your standard RV too, so that's why they got a little bit smaller bed in it to give you a little bit bigger bathroom. As far as changing space in your bathroom, because this is still a small motorhome. You got a stand-up shower, and that air feels really good in here. With a skylight, obviously it's not been stored outside much because the shower is still good and wide. If one's been stored outside a lot and that skylight has had sunlight coming through it, it's going to bleach the plastic surround around the shower a bright yellow, or dark yellow, I mean. So it's pretty obvious when one's been stored outside just from the condition of the shower surround wall. And that one right here is good and bright white, so we know we're good there. Vent fan, not bad. Got your carbon monoxide and everything right there where it should be, right there by where you sleep. Got a Bluetooth stereo, DVD player built in. Lots of windows in here. So even though this is a small, under 25 foot motorhome, you feel like you're in a bigger motorhome because of all the windows and of course the slide out. And I'll bring the slide out in shortly. This table is removable, so if you want to use this for a sofa instead of a table, you can. Now you do require this tabletop to make this a sleeper sofa. There are drawers that come out underneath the dinette seats for additional storage. Storage underneath that bed. Of course, part of that storage also goes to the outside too. So, you know, all in all, considering the size motorhome, it's got a pretty impressive amount of storage. All in all, I mean, they didn't waste any space. You don't have any open corners. You don't have any, you know, every little corner, every little speck of space they can put in here is well designed. So, good job, Thor, on that. I mean, the floor plan for the space that you have, considering you're only 24.5 feet long, and that's including bumper to bumper, the cab, and the rear bumper and all that, that's pretty good, because the actual inside of the motorhome is smaller than that. But, and let's talk about price for a minute, guys. Now, that price is $69,900. NADA, and I'm gonna pause the video for a minute again, and let me flash that NADA up, because I've actually got this thing just barely above low retail with 30,000 miles. Hang on one second. So you can see, guys, I've got the best price out there, and if you don't believe me, get on RV Trader. I use my price checker tool, which I recommend people do two things. Always check your NADA, of course. Base retail, of course, there's no adjusting for the miles on a diesel, but you know, you can see $84,000 is retail. Then get on RV Trader and see what people are selling them for. And there's only, out of 200 something thousand used and new units on RV Trader, there's only one other 2015 Thor Citation 24 SA, and it's in Kansas, and it's a dealer. So you know that price you see advertised, you're not gonna walk in there with a check and buy it for that price. You know, they're going to add fees, they're going to add upsells. You might as well add $10,000, $12,000 to that price before you leave with it, not even including your sales tax. But it's $79,900, and there's no mention of the miles. Now, that's pure laziness on whoever does their marketing at that dealer in Kansas, because I looked at the pictures. The motorhome's filthy, first of all. It's a dealer. Guys, be professional. If you're a dealer watching this and you advertise for your dealership, get your guys to clean your units up. When you go take pictures, crank your motor up, crank your generator up, turn your lights on, make it look like you want to sell it. I mean, take a little pride in your work. List the miles. 3 things you should always list in an RV listing is the price, the miles, and the condition. I mean, it's not rocket science, guys. For those of you who advertise for dealerships, I mean, for sale by owners do a lot better than what most of you guys do on that post stuff for other dealers' websites. I mean, come on. Have a little pride. Professional pride. But, of course, no miles listed. Mine's got 30,000 miles. It's $10,000 less, and includes our major systems inspection. Unlike other dealerships, our price is plus tax out the door. I don't have any upsells. I don't have any fees. I'm not going to try to sell you a extended warranty, gap insurance, tire and wheel protection packages. I'm not going to try to see all that junk that adds $8,000, $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 to the advertised price. I'm not going to add, you know, $1,000, $2,000 or more in dock fees, prep fees, and all that other junk that other dealers charge. That is nothing but pure dealer profit, and just a way to rip you off to get you to pay more for the RV by disguising the profit in the form of these bogus fees, happy camper fees, inspection fees, destination fees, etc. The only thing I charge is applicable sales tax, and if you are a Georgia resident, there is a $50 to $100 highway impact fee and a $40 to $50 tag and title fee. That's because the state says I have to charge that to Georgia residents only. Out-of-state residents, you don't pay that. And then, of course, applicable sales tax. That's it. Easy, simple, and done. Take it to the bank. I don't care how you pay for it. Other dealers charge you more if you pay for it yourself, or you go to your own bank to get the money, like a loan. They charge you more for it. We don't. We don't care. We don't make money on financing. We don't overcharge you for financing like other dealers do. Other dealers have a deal worked out with their lenders where they can mark the rates up over what the bank approved you for. They can overcharge you for financing by thousands of dollars. That's thousands of dollars that you're adding to the overall cost of ownership. When you buy an RV from those dealerships, thousands of dollars in interest you're overpaying for You don't pay that here, guys. You pay whatever the bank approves you for. Now, guys, I'm not going to lie. Interest rates have gone up on RVs like they have on everything else. I've got no control over that. We have no control over that as a dealership. I don't. That's at the banks, okay? And I have no control over what they do. You know, we sell the RVs. We don't loan the money. That's what the banks do. That's how they make their living. And I wish that everybody coming here could get a 0% rate, but the banks don't make any money when you do that. So I'm sorry, and I have no control over that. So, but rates are still, now when I was in sales, they used to be a lot higher. I won't lie to you. When I was in sales, they were 2 or 3% higher on average, and people paid them back then, thought it was a good deal. So I don't really think, I still think they're still low compared to what they used to be when I was in sales many years ago. And gosh, I remember when I was a kid. God, y'all remember, I don't know if many of y'all remember this. I remember when I was a kid, and I remember my parents griping about a car loan in the late 80s being, and with prime credit being 17, 18, 19% interest rate in the late 80s on car financing. It was just ridiculous. But house loan rates are up too. I mean, it's ridiculous what house interest rates are bringing right now. They're bringing 5.5%. I mean, it's just stupid. But, you know, feds keep raising the rates up, so that makes everything go up. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. That's one thing I try to keep off my channel is politics. So, this unit is $69,900, lowest price on RV Trader for a 2015 24 SA by not just, and I'm not talking about just a few $100s, I'm talking about $10,000, not to mention probably an additional $10,000 that we save you in fees and upsells that we don't charge that other dealers do. So we're saving you money coming and going. If you finance through one of our lenders, we save you tons of money on that. If you need delivery service, guys, it's $1 a mile round trip. So matter of fact, I've got one of these going to Washington State that we sold, the Mercedes-Benz C-Class, just like this, or B+, whatever you want to call it. And it's going 2,500 miles to Washington. In fact, we're leaving, driver's heading out early next week, taking it to Washington State. That's shows you how good our price is. It was the same price as this one, actually. And I actually think it was a year older, or 2 older. But that shows you what kind of prices we have. People are willing to buy these things and have it shipped that far and pay to have it shipped that far, sight unseen, because our prices are so low. And believe me, guys, there's plenty of these out here for sale, but not any for our price. With the miles and the condition. I mean, this is nice, guys. There's no bad odors in it. We're going to drive it later in the video so you can see how it drives. We're going to bring the slide out here in a minute so you can see what it looks like with the slide out in. But anyway, $69,900. This is what we inspect. We do our major systems inspection, which is way more than most dealers do for used RVs. And we make sure the major stuff works that could ruin your trip if they didn't work at time of sale. And we make sure the slide out works, make sure the generator runs and puts out like it's supposed to, which it obviously does because I got the AC running and all that. We make sure refrigerator, freezer gets to operating temp. Make sure your roof air gets to operating temperature. We check your plumbing system, or I don't, my RV techs do. We check your plumbing system, water heater, water pump, make sure all your faucets, spigots, toilet, all that stuff works. Make sure there's no plumbing leaks. And of course, you know, if any of these things that we check doesn't work, we fix it at no additional charge to you. We make sure the step works, make sure the drivability is good, and we leave anything else to you to fix. Now, what I do in my videos is I take it one step further. I make sure the awning works, I check all the lights, they work. So, you know that, because we don't cover awnings in our checkout. If they work, they work. They don't, they don't. This one works. I've got it out, and I'll put it back in before we drive it. And if it's not broke, you can't fix it, right? So, all the lights work. I've checked all the cabinets. They're all good. You know, anything else is up to you to fix if it doesn't work. We just cover the major stuff. We leave the Mickey Mouse minor stuff to you. So, does that mean we check everything on the unit? For some reason, people think we do, but we don't. That's what we check, guys, the major systems. We leave the minor systems to you. If they work, they work. They don't, they don't. They're sold that way. Like that scratch I showed you on the outside, it's going to be sold with that scratch. We don't cover cosmetics. We don't cover minor repairs. This is how we keep our prices down. Now, if you want to pay me $84,000, what the retail value is on this RV, we will be happy to give you a full retail RV inspection. And if it's worth that much more to you, if you to pay $14,000 plus more dollars for it, then we will be happy to do that for $14,000. Even though that will, you can rebuild this motor home for a lot less than that from front to back almost. But even though we couldn't spend even the tiniest fraction of that making sure everything works on it. But hey, if that makes you happy, you want to pay the retail price for it, we'll give you a retail inspection. But for $69,900, that includes our major systems inspection. And if you want to know, if you need something clarified about that, just call and talk to one of my salespeople, 706-965-7910. We even have a form we'll send you to sign that puts everything in English for you, so that you know exactly what we inspect for the price that you pay and repair if needed. And all that's included for that $69,900 price. And remember, guys, no fees, no upsells. $69,900 plus applicable sales tax. And again, guys, Georgia residents, highway impact fee. We do have to charge highway impact fee and tag and title fee for Georgia residents only. So what I'm going to do, guys, and again, guys, if you've got any questions about that, give us a call. We do take trade-ins, and again, we do have delivery service. It's $1 a mile round trip. If you do have a trade-in coming back, where it's, you know, if we're coming to pick your trade-in up, it may be slightly higher than that. It just depends on your trade, the condition, what it is, things like that. So it's just kind of a case-by-case basis when there's a trade-in coming back. You know, obviously, if you're trading in, like, say, a travel trailer, and you live 1,000 miles away and you're trading in a travel trailer on this motor home, well, I've got to send 2 drivers, one to drive this and one to drive a truck to pick the driver up and to tow your camper back. So obviously that's going to be more than $1 a mile round trip. So it just, again, varies if you have a trade-in coming back, what we charge depending on your individual situation. But whatever it costs us is what we charge you. We don't make money on delivery, guys, so it's going to be very, very fair. And I promise you, it would be less by the time you take off work and miss that money you make being off of work. It's going to be less than it would cost you to come get it yourself. But we do actually prefer that you at least come look at it yourself if possible. That's what I tell people. We check the major systems. We leave the minor systems to you. We do recommend that you, and I personally recommend this as well, that you either come look at the unit yourself, come test drive it, inspect the unit for yourself. If you're not comfortable doing that, I highly recommend any RV purchase you hire a third-party inspection service. You're thinking, Big Bo, I've never heard a dealer say that, because dealers hate those guys. I have nothing to hide. Any RV you buy, you're going to work on. It doesn't matter if you buy new, used. Doesn't matter if you spent $5 million on it or $5,000 on it. You're going to work on. Doesn't matter the name brand, how it's built, how it's been taken care of. You buy a new or used RV, you're going to work on it. Period. Anybody tells you different, they're lying to you. That's just part about RV ownership. They're a lot of fun, guys. I've got some of the best memories of my life RVing, and I will continue to make those memories. But I also know that there's some behind the scenes repairs, upgrades, and maintenance that I have to go through to get to those camp spots to make those memories. And you know, after 25 years in this business and over 25 years as an RV owner myself, I've learned to expect that and to know that. I know that not every time I jump in my motor home, then I crank it up and take it somewhere. I know that every time I do that, not everything's going to work like it did the last time I took it beforehand. I know that. I expect that. I mean, I keep a little notebook in it to write down stuff that I need to repair as I find the stuff that goes wrong as I'm using it. And I don't get mad, I don't get disappointed, I'm just used to it, guys. That's part of owning an RV. Fortunately, I can do a lot of the stuff myself. And I've got, well, I don't, you know, I actually got places I can take it to get it fixed. And it's kind of funny, and people don't believe me when I tell them this, but, and I've got some great guys here. I've got some great RV techs, but, and for those of you who watch my videos that work at RV dealerships, you can really, that own RVs yourselves, you can relate to this too. When you actually work at the RV dealership, your stuff gets pushed to the back burner. I mean, literally, what somebody could come in and get worked on in a few days, mine will sit for weeks for the same repair while everybody else gets worked on. So I actually have places, I actually take mine to somebody else for that very reason. Not that my guys can't do it, they can do it just as well as anybody else can. And it actually costs me more money to do that because I can get it fixed here for less. But it's funny, but people think that, oh, you work at an RV dealership, you're so lucky. You can get stuff done to your RV, you know, so much easier. No, it's actually the opposite. It's a curse sometimes. And I just laugh at it, but that is true, guys. And that's true. Anybody that works in an RV dealership that owns an RV, you all go through the same thing. Your stuff just, you know, oh, he works here. He ain't going to go nowhere else. Just put it to the side. Every service manager says that. When it comes to working on an employee's RV, put it to the side. So that's why most of the time I usually do it myself, or I got a repair place that I use, independent shop that I use for stuff that I don't have time to or can't do myself. So, but that's always funny. People get a kick when I tell them that, but it's 100% the truth. And of course, I'm lucky too. My brother-in-law is an RV tech, so he does side work as well. So that kind of comes in handy as well. But anyway, hang on tight, guys. I'm gonna bring this room in and put this awning up and show you what it looks like. Do a quick video, then we'll take it for a test drive. So hang tight. I'll be right back. All right, everybody. Pretty simple. Of course, I went outside and put my awning up, and as always, before I bring a room in, I go outside and make sure all the outside bays are closed, latched, and locked. And the reason I say that, especially on some of these bays that swing out or up, is you don't want them that may be open underneath the slide out to get hung up under the lip of the slide out when you bring it in and bend your cargo bay door. That's happened to us out here before more than once. Luckily, knock on wood, I haven't done it, but I can see where it'd be real easy to do that. So you always double check that before I bring a room in, which you should anyway. And of course, go ahead and lock them and all that before you take it for a drive. And of course, if you were parked under a bunch of trees and you didn't have a slide topper, you want to make sure you don't have any limbs or debris, leaves or anything like that that's going to slide in and damage your steel. This one does have a slide topper, so you don't have to worry about that step. But if yours doesn't, you know, a broom, climb up a ladder, or climb up the ladder on the back, get on the roof and sweep it off with a broom, or a battery powered leaf blower is an excellent tool for that as well. And of course, you come inside, you don't have to have the parking brake on or anything like that on this particular one. Just turn your motor off, and your slide out switch is right over here on the control panel, right here. Just bring it all the way in till it stops and good and snug, and you're good to go. As with any slide out, bring them all the way in or all the way out. There is no in between. And you can see, guys, besides just making it a little bit more cramped up here, you can still put your bed down overhead if you want to. You can still make your sofa bed out, or I mean your table booth bed out. You can still get your refrigerator. You can still cook something in your kitchen, open your refrigerator. You can still get your bathroom, get your back bed. You really don't lose access to anything, except it makes it, you just can't open these dinette drawers up as much as you could when it's open. Other than that, guys, pretty good design. You don't really lose anything else. Full access to the bathroom. Again, full access to the bedroom. So all that's good. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna pause the video for a minute, jump behind the driver's seat, and let's take this thing for a test drive down the road, see what it does. I'm gonna hold it myself. All my salespeople, it's Saturday, they're covered up, so I don't have anybody to spare to film me. So y'all bear with me. It may be a little shaky, may not be the best driving video in the world, but hey, we'll just, you know, like my grandpa used to say, don't worry about what you don't have, make do with what you got. So hang tight, and I'll see you from the driver's seat. All right, everybody, I'm behind the seat, driver's seat, getting ready to test drive this Mercedes 2015 Thor Citation 24 SA. Again, probably one of the very few motorhomes that I would feel comfortable doing this, that is driving and filming, because these things are just so, they turn so easy, they're so easy to control, even one-handed. Now, I do not recommend y'all doing what I'm doing, because I'm very experienced driver when it comes to RVs, and believe me, guys, if I'm out in a situation where I don't feel it's safe, I'm cutting this camera off and concentrating on driving. I'm not going to take a chance of putting my life or somebody else's life in jeopardy just to film a test drive segment of a video. It's never worth that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to test drive. One thing I like to point out on the Mercedes is I don't even think I have a seat all the way back. No, I don't. Even with a seat, look at all the leg room, because I'm 6'4", guys. I'm not a little guy, and I can stretch out in this thing probably more than any other motorhome that I've been in any class. I mean, this thing's, even with the slide out in, has got incredible leg space. And no check engine lights again. Dash air is cold. I've got it turned down a little bit so I don't start coughing. Nice and comfortable in here too. Of course, I don't even think we broke 80 degrees today. It's a beautiful day here in Northwest Georgia. And we're gonna take her up the road. I guess I better put my glasses on. That might help. I wear my glasses when I'm driving. And you know, the Mercedes, great visibility. You know, the mirrors, got the blind spot mirrors on the bottom. I mean, you see really well out this thing. And of course, we'll drive it, see how it does. Remember, these are a little bit less narrower than, or a little bit less wider than your average Class C. So, and of course, we hit this red light here. And again, guys, just a quick reminder, if you're interested in this motorhome, our phone number is 706-965-7929, and any of my salespeople can help you. I'm not in sales, I'm in the marketing department, so I don't sell. Usually I'm not even around my desk unless I'm editing or piecing a video together, and so which I know people kind of look at me funny. I'm sitting here talking, holding the camera, but it's all right. Believe me, if you look like I did, you're used to people looking at you funny anyway. But pretty day. At least, hey, at least we're at first, so we can go up this hill and kind of get an idea of the power. And I know what these things can do. They've got great power. I mean, I know 188 horsepower don't sound like much, but 325 pound-feet of torque, that's where your hill climbing power is at, your torque, not your horsepower. And I mean, honestly, you can set this thing next to a motorhome with a V10 and keep up with it, and probably even pass it going up this hill from a dead stop. Now, it'll catch up to you on the interstate, but you don't need to be driving these things much over about 70, 75 anyway. And like I said, the best fuel mileage is when you keep it around 65. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, this thing it'll hook and book, guys, for a motorhome. Tires feel good. I mean, I'm not getting no bad vibrations. Of course, I know I'm just running 45, but. And we'll take it up the road here in just a second, up the interstate. Well, this is 50. So yeah, keeping up with traffic's not too bad. You know, these are very comfortable on long trips. I mean, this is something I could drive 8 or 10 hours, no problem. And not be so fatigued like fighting a Class A or, you know, something like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love to say I've got a 25-foot motorhome, kind of this style myself, and mine's on a Ford chassis, but I'm telling you, there are days I would not mind having the Mercedes chassis over the Ford. I mean, don't get me wrong, they both got pros and cons, but I just like the way these things feel. These, to me, feel like I'm driving a minivan. That's just the way it is. Let's see what this thing will do getting on that interstate. Let's see, there is, I mean, we're already keeping up with people towing campers, so, I mean, we're hitting 60, and I had to slow down to get over, so 65 wouldn't have been a problem on this, and we'll hit the cruise control. Let's see here. You know, probably the only thing, if I really had to fault this thing, and front tires may need to be rebalanced. Hey, I'm gonna tell it to you like it is, guys. I got the cruise set at 65, got a little vibration, and they may actually smooth up as they go down the road, but I'd say at the very worst case, you probably need to rebalance front tires. No big deal. And I may just be being overly picky. I'm picky when I buy too. I mean, half the people that drive this thing probably wouldn't even say a word about any kind of little bit of vibrations in the front, you know. And believe me, I've certainly drove them long distance a lot worse than this, so. But we'll try the brakes here. Cruise control works good, by the way. And I like to try the brakes so I can feel the rotors, make sure there's no rotor vibration like they need to be turned, or got good pedal. And so, yeah, so far everything feels great. Transmission shifts good. That's the main thing I want to feel. You know, going down the road, I wasn't fighting it like it was pulling to the left or the right. Coming to a stop, it's not pulling to the left or the right. All the gauges look good. No warning lights. Guys, I think it's pretty good. And like I said, the only thing, the tires got a little bit of a vibration. That may just be me being too picky. Some of y'all may not be that bad. You may say, oh, that ain't nothing. You're just being overly picky. But, you know, whoa. Yeah. About had a wreck there. Wasn't me. But, anyway, guys, thank y'all so much for watching. Call us before coming down. Make sure it's available. 706-965-7929. And appreciate each and every one of y'all. Smash us a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. And look forward to seeing you here in beautiful Ringgold, Georgia. Y'all have a safe and great weekend. And I'll see y'all Monday. Hey guys, just a little postscript on this video. I'm going to go ahead and get those tires balanced for you. I drove it up to speed a little bit and not really getting no better, so I'm going to get an appointment next week for this thing at the tire store. And this is too nice of a motorhome to have that issue, so whether they need to be replaced or they need to be rebalanced, whatever it takes, I'm going to get that taken care of for you. So just ignore the part about the tires. I promise you that's going to be taken care of. So don't worry about that. So I'm going to put in a service ticket for that as soon as I get back to the lot. But anyway, guys, just wanted to mention that. I try to take care of you. So thanks again for watching. And again, for the last time, at least for today, look forward to seeing you here in beautiful Ringgold, Georgia.